What if letters were more than shapes? What if they were living codes of energy? Have you ever stopped to wonder why certain words seem to echo inside your chest, while others go unnoticed as if they were just noise? Is it just the sound? Or is there something deeper, more subtle, vibrating behind each syllable we speak? Imagine for a moment that every letter you know, from A to Z, from Aleph to Tav, from OM to silence, is, in fact, a living symbol. Not just a graphic representation, but a portal, a point of connection between the visible and the invisible, between what is said and what is felt. Since the dawn of humanity, masters, scribes, and sages have treated words with reverence. They knew something we've forgotten. They understood that language is not just a tool for communication. It is a tool for creation. Think about it. Everything that exists in your life right now, at some point was named. Before it was touched, it was thought. Before it was thought, it was felt. And before it was felt, it was spoken. The words you hear shape your perception. The words you speak shape your reality. But what about the letters? These small geometric forms, these curves, lines, dots, and strokes, what secret do they carry? Is the alphabet just a human invention designed to make communication easier? Or is it, perhaps, a hidden code, a symbolic language inherited from something older, deeper, more sacred? When you look at an Egyptian symbol carved in stone, you feel something. When you hear a Vedic mantra repeated with devotion, your body responds. When you say the word love or death, something stirs within you. It's not a coincidence. It's vibration. Our body recognizes it. Our energy field responds. Because words don't just inform, they transform. This isn't a video about grammar, nor about spelling. This is a dive into the invisible, a journey through the vibrational origin of alphabets, letters, and words as living codes that influence your mind, your body, and your soul. We'll travel through ancient civilizations where speaking was a sacred act. We'll explore the science that confirms what the ancients already knew, that sound, form, and intention create reality. We'll open the door to a new perspective on something we use every day, but rarely understand in its essence. You're about to discover that the universe doesn't speak in sentences. It vibrates in letters, and each one of them is a particle of creation. In the next step of this journey, we'll visit the times when words were seen as living, sacred entities, capable of altering both the physical world and the spiritual one. Get ready to remember what your heart already knows. To name is to manifest. In ancient times, words were not thrown to the wind. To speak was an act of power. To write a ritual. To name a sacred gesture. Ancient civilizations saw language as a direct link between the human and the divine. Each letter, each sound, each stroke carried a meaning that went beyond the intellect. It vibrated in the soul. In ancient Egypt, hieroglyphs were not just drawings. They were called Midu Neter, the words of the gods. Each symbol was a sacred spark, a manifestation of divine energy in visible form. For scribes, writing was not a common task. It was an initiation. They didn't merely copy words, they invoked forces. Among the Hebrews, the alphabet was a universe in itself. Hebrew did not merely represent sounds. It carried numerical values, spiritual archetypes, and hidden secrets. Each letter was a container of wisdom. Aleph, the first letter, symbolized the beginning of creation, the invisible force before all things. Bet, the second, the shelter, the house, the womb of the universe. Nothing was random. Each word was a sacred equation of sound, number, and symbol. And in ancient India, where sound is seen as the raw material of the universe, sacred language took shape in Sanskrit. There, the expression was born. Nada Brahma, the universe is sound. Mantras are not poetic phrases. They are vibrational formulas that resonate with the very structure of reality. When you chant a mantra like Om Namah Shivaya, you're not simply repeating something beautiful. You are tuning your consciousness to an archetypal, ancient, cosmic field. Words were medicine, portals, mirrors, and even in Northern Europe, the Nordic peoples used runes as a magical system of language. They were not just letters, they were forces of nature. The rune Fehu represented the energy of abundance, and Suz, the inspiration of the gods. Each stroke, each carving, was made with intention. To the ancients, drawing a rune was to sculpt energy into the fabric of the world. Do you see the pattern? From one side of the planet to the other, cultures separated by oceans and eras arrived at the same essential understanding. Language is creation. Sound is power. Writing is evocation. The word to speak in Latin comes from fabulare, which is connected to the idea of telling stories, but also to the roots of fable, fate, and destiny. The one who speaks shapes. The one who writes leaves marks on the invisible. That's why, for the ancients, every utterance was magic. Every letter a spark, every word a spell. Today, we may have forgotten this secret, but the echo still lives. You feel it when someone says something that pierces through you. You notice when a phrase lifts you up or breaks you down. That is the residue of ancient wisdom, and it's more alive than ever. In the next section, we'll bring this vision closer to the present and show how modern science is slowly rediscovering what the ancients already knew. That sound shapes matter, that vibration creates form, and that behind every letter, there is an energetic field in motion. Get ready. We're about to cross the bridge between the spiritual and the scientific, and see letters not as static strokes, but as waves in motion. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to a single word whispered within you. Truth. Did you feel it? There was a subtle shift, perhaps a slight shiver, a warmth in your chest, a silent expansion. That's how vibration works, before thought, before logic. It touches the essence directly, because everything in the universe vibrates, and sound is one of the purest forms of that vibration. Modern physics has confirmed what ancient traditions already intuited. Matter, at its core, is energy oscillating at different frequencies. We are not made of solid blocks, but of waves. Atoms, particles, fields. And when sound interacts with this invisible dance, something magical and measurable happens. Have you ever heard of cymatics? It's the study of visible sound. You place sand, water, or other materials on a vibrating plate. By emitting certain sound frequencies, matter organizes itself into precise geometric forms, as if dancing to a sacred choreography. With high tones, mandalas appear. With low tones, patterns resembling roots, spirals, flowers. It's sound sculpting form. Now think, if a simple frequency can shape particles with such precision, what happens inside you when, day after day, you repeat words like, I am weak, I don't deserve it, I hate my life? You are, quite literally, sculpting your internal reality with those vibrational commands. And this isn't just mystical, it's physical. It's neurological. It's energetic. Energetic linguistics, a still emerging field, has been studying the impact of vowel and consonant sounds on the human body. Some words activate the sympathetic nervous system. Others relax it. The sound of vibrating on the lips, for instance, generates a resonance that calms the brain. That's why Om, the oldest mantra on earth, ends with that sound. It heals, not by magic, but by frequency. Letters, seen as visual forms, also carry vibrational fields. Soft curves tend to evoke feelings of warmth and comfort. Sharp lines and angles evoke tension, focus, direction. Have you ever noticed how some words feel heavy even without context? They carry a signature, a vibrational code. And that code imprints itself on the body, on the psyche, on the subtle field. When you speak a word like healing, you're not just expressing a desire. You're emitting a vibrational command that echoes through your energetic field. And that field responds. It reorganizes itself, like the sand on a cymatic plate. Your biology and your energy adjust to the sound you invoke. Letters, then, are not just graphic symbols. They are like notes in a piece of music. Each one carries a frequency, and when combined, they create melodies or dissonances. You've probably felt this in a simple conversation. Someone says something ordinary and your heart opens. Or the opposite, your body contracts. It wasn't the phrase. It was the vibration within it. It's time to start seeing words as living frequencies. They don't describe the world. They program the world around you and within you. In the next section, we'll dive even deeper into this mystery. You'll discover that each letter of the alphabet, in ancient traditions like Hebrew, Sanskrit, or the Nordic runes, carries a specific energetic archetype, like a key, like a cosmic musical note. And as you come to know them, you won't just be reading, you'll be tuning in, reactivating memories that sleep within the shapes, and remembering that letters were made to awaken. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to a single word whispered within you. Truth. Did you feel it? There was a subtle shift, perhaps a slight shiver, a warmth in your chest, a quiet expansion. That's how vibration works, before thought, before logic. It touches the essence directly, because everything in the universe vibrates, and sound is one of the purest forms of that vibration. Modern physics has confirmed what ancient traditions once intuited. Matter, at its core, is energy oscillating at different frequencies. We are not made of solid blocks, but of waves. Atoms, particles, fields. And when sound interacts with this invisible dance, something magical and measurable happens. Have you heard of cymatics? It's the study of visible sound. Sand, water, or other materials are placed on a vibrating plate. When certain sound frequencies are emitted, matter organizes into precise geometric shapes, as if dancing to a sacred choreography. With high tones, mandalas emerge. With low tones, patterns that resemble roots, spirals, flowers. It's sound sculpting form. Now think, if a simple frequency can shape particles with such precision, what happens inside you when you repeat, day after day, words like, I am weak, I don't deserve, I hate my life? You are, quite literally, sculpting your internal reality with these vibrational commands. And this isn't just mystical. It's physical. It's neurological. It's energetic. Energetic linguistics, a still emerging field, has been studying the impact of vowel and consonant sounds on the human body. Certain words activate the sympathetic nervous system. Others bring relaxation. The sound of vibrating on the lips, for example, generates a resonance that calms the brain. That's why Om, the oldest mantra on earth, ends with that sound. It heals, not through magic, but through frequency. Letters, seen as visual forms, also carry vibrational fields. Soft curves tend to evoke sensations of comfort. Sharp lines and angles bring tension, focus, direction. Have you ever noticed how certain words feel heavy even without context? They carry a signature, a vibrational code. And that code imprints itself on the body, the psyche, the subtle field. When you speak a word like healing, you're not just expressing a wish. You're sending out a vibrational command that echoes through your energy field. And that field responds. It reorganizes. Like the sand on the cymatic plate, your biology and your energy adjust to the sound you invoke. Letters, then, are not just graphic symbols. They're like notes in a song. Each one carries a frequency, and when combined, they create melodies or dissonance. You've probably felt this in a regular conversation. Someone says something simple, and your heart opens. Or the opposite, your body tenses up. It wasn't the sentence, it was the vibration inside it. It's time to begin seeing words as living frequencies. They don't describe the world. They program the world around you and within you. In the next section, we'll dive even deeper into this mystery. You'll discover that every letter of the alphabet, in ancient traditions like Hebrew, Sanskrit, or the Nordic runes, carries a specific energetic archetype. Like a key, like a cosmic musical note. And as you come to know them, you won't just be reading, you'll be tuning in, reactivating memories that sleep within the shapes, and remembering that letters were made to awaken. Letters, those shapes we learned to draw as children, are not innocent. Behind each one lies a spirit, an archetypal breath, an ancestral symbol carrying the living forces of creation. Imagine each letter as a being, a guardian of an aspect of consciousness, a primordial sound that, when invoked, opens a doorway within you. Let's begin with Hebrew, one of the oldest alphabets, rich in spiritual meaning. There, each letter is not just a character. It is an entity. Aleph, the first letter, is silent, but its absence of sound is not empty. It is the cradle of the universe. It represents the mystery before creation, the formless breath, the beginning that doesn't begin. To visualize Aleph is to contemplate condensed infinity. Bet, the second letter, symbolizes the house. It is duality emerging, creation separating itself from the whole. It's the moment the invisible chooses to dwell in the visible. Gimel is movement, generosity, the soul in motion. It is the act of giving and also of seeking. These letters are not merely sounds. They are shaping forces. Now turn to Sanskrit, the language of the gods in Vedic tradition. There we find the sound Im, the primordial trinity, represents creation. Birth, the initial spark. U symbolizes preservation, continuity, flow, the middle of the journey. M is dissolution, the return to the whole, the necessary end for a new beginning. Together, these three letters form the sound Om, considered the purest vibration of the universe. It is not just a spiritual symbol. It is a cosmic equation expressed through sound. In the Norse traditions, the ancients used the runic alphabet, And each rune was more than a letter. It was a living energy of nature and the psyche. The Fehu rune, for example, symbolizes wealth, but not only in the material sense. It represents the energy of flow, of life in abundance, of the ability to move with fullness. The Ansuz rune is the word itself. Inspiration, the divine breath, the capacity to channel messages from above. Each rune was an oracle, a spell, a key that, when carved, spoken, or drawn, activated an archetypal frequency. And don't think this is trapped in the past. Even today, unconsciously, you feel these archetypes in action. Look at the letter Th. Open, ascending. It invites you to breathe, to begin. The letter S, with its serpentine shape, evokes movement, whisper, mystery. The O, round, enclosed, brings the idea of totality, of cycles, of containment. See it? They're not just letters. They're mirrors of consciousness. Each one pulses with a specific power. And when you choose words, you are combining living archetypes. It's like forming a chord with sacred notes. Some chords heal, others confuse, some imprison. That's why ancient traditions chose their words with extreme care. Not out of superstition, but out of vibrational wisdom. To know what each letter evokes is like learning to play an instrument with more awareness. It is to transform speech into an act of alignment, of channeling, because in the end, we're not just reading, we're decoding symbols that hold ancestral forces. And you, even without realizing it, carry this in every word you write, in every sound you speak. You only need to remember. In the next section, we'll bring everything we've explored so far together and take one step further. We'll dive into how full sentences, yes, even everyday phrases, act as creator codes, programming the reality around us. You'll understand why certain words keep repeating in your life, and how changing them can transform the world you live in. Have you ever noticed how certain words keep repeating around you? Different people, different places, different situations. And yet, the same expressions return. Hard. Complicated. I can't. Maybe someday. As if your entire life were stuck in an invisible script, recited without awareness. But what if that script isn't a reflection of reality? What if it's the cause of it? The words you choose don't just describe the world. They build it. Every phrase you repeat is like a line of code being written into the fabric of the universe. Repetition in this realm is not redundancy. It's vibrational reinforcement. If every day you say, "I'm unlucky," you are programming a field. You are feeding a pattern. And that pattern, like a magnet, begins attracting evidence to support your belief. Words are like urban mantras, only most of the time unconscious. Instead of Om Mani Padme Hum, we repeat, "I don't have time. This is impossible. Nothing ever works." And so we keep our vibration trapped in circuits of scarcity and limitation. But what if you chose to reprogram? Not with made-up magic phrases, but with deep awareness. With words that are vibrational keys aligned with what you truly wish to live. This is where the power of renaming comes in. What you name, you define. And what you redefine, you transform. Look closely. Saying, "I'm tired," is a decree. Saying, "My body is asking for stillness," is an invitation to listen. Saying, "I have no luck," is a seal. Saying, "I open myself to unexpected paths," is a beam of light. The words you speak are invisible threads connected to your energy field. They either bind you or set you free. That's why many masters in ancient temples taught silence as the first practice. Not out of austerity, but because they knew that to speak is to create, and to create without awareness is to risk shaping monsters with your own mouth. Notice, every prayer is made of words. Every spell is spoken with words. Every promise is sealed with words. Every trauma is etched by words. And every healing begins with them too. Replacing "I can't" with "I'm learning" may seem small, but in vibrational terms, it's a shift in frequency. A reprogramming that affects your body, your mind, even your biology. Studies show that positive and compassionate words activate brain areas linked to empathy and expansion, while negative, repetitive words trigger fear, withdrawal, and contraction. The words you choose the life you'll live. So pay attention to what you say when you wake up, to what you whisper before falling asleep, to what you answer automatically when someone asks, "How are you?" There lie the codes of your reality. There lie the passwords to your vibrational field. And now, knowing this, you can start creating words of power, phrases that function as personal mantras, as energetic anchors that remind your field of who you choose to be. It may sound simple, but that's where the secret lives. Reality is not made of grand events. It's made of small words, spoken every day. In the next section, we'll step out of theory and into practice. You'll learn how to create your own ritual with words, choosing one to serve as your vibrational anchor, and activating its power through writing, breath, and intention. Because in the end, knowing is just the beginning. Feeling, speaking, and integrating is where the magic begins. We've now arrived at the point where knowledge meets experience. You've listened, felt, reflected. But for this wisdom to truly bloom, it must be lived. Words only reveal their true power when they are embodied with intention. That's the moment they stop being ideas and become active vibration in your field. So I invite you to perform a simple, profound, and transformative ritual. A ritual with a single word, the choosing of the power word. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, sincerely, what state do I wish to cultivate in my life right now? Could be surrender, courage, clarity, presence. Allow the answer to rise, not from the mind, but from the body. You'll feel it when the right word appears. It won't be chosen, it will be recognized. That will be your power word. Write it down. Look at it with reverence. Remember, this is not just any word. It is a vibrational key that will accompany you as an energetic compass. Vibrational activation. Now, with your word chosen, begin the ritual. Sit comfortably. Keep your spine upright, eyes closed. Take 3 deep breaths. On the first breath, bring the word into your mind. On the second, bring it into your heart. On the third, allow it to expand through your entire body. Then, repeat the word out loud 7 times. But don't rush. Each repetition should be intentional, as if the word were being carved into the air. Feel the vibration of the word in your throat. Notice how it resonates in your chest. Observe any image, sensation, or emotion that arises. After that, take pen and paper. Write the word 7 times. Calmly, with presence, feeling each stroke as an energetic seal anchoring that frequency into matter. If you wish, draw symbols around it. Use colors. Create a small altar with it. Turn this act into vibrational art. Daily application. Now that the word has been chosen and activated, It becomes a vibrational anchor. Use it when you wake up, before you sleep, before making important decisions. You can repeat it mentally when feeling anxious, or whisper it into silence. Whenever you feel disconnected from yourself, return to your word. It will be your reminder, your root, your presence. And more, begin observing your automatic words throughout the day. When you hear yourself saying, "I'm lost," just breathe and shift it to, "I'm in transition." When you repeat, "This is impossible," gently reframe it, "I'm making space for the unexpected." You're not just changing phrases. You are reprogramming your energetic field. Over the days, write down your most common automatic phrases. And beside them, create versions more aligned with the frequency you want to live. This simple practice is a powerful alchemy. Transform problem into process. Transform lack into space to be filled. Transform ending into portal for a new beginning. That is the true power of language, not as manipulation, but as conscious magic. You don't need to speak a lot. You need to speak with soul, with presence, with vibrational responsibility. This ritual, however simple it may seem, is an act of energetic self-sovereignty. It is the moment you decide to no longer be a prisoner of inherited words, but the author of your own vibrational vocabulary. In the next and final section, we'll close this path with a deep inspiration, a reminder that you are not just the one who speaks, you are the one who manifests, and your voice is an extension of your creative power. You've made it this far, and perhaps now you can feel something that wasn't so clear in the beginning. Letters aren't just shapes. Words aren't just sounds. Language is a living bridge between the invisible and the manifest. Every sentence you speak is a brush, every word a color, and what you create with them day after day is the masterpiece of your existence. You are a vibrational architect, and your words are the bricks of the reality you inhabit. It may sound poetic, but it's also literal, because what you say shapes what you feel shapes what you attract, and what you attract shapes you in return. The cycle begins with vibration, and vibration begins with the voice you choose to give the world. It doesn't matter how many words you've used against yourself. It doesn't matter what others have said to you. What matters is that now you know. You know you can choose. You know you can change. You know you can create, reprogram, renew. You can replace internal noise with sacred sound. You can transform a scream of pain into a whisper of presence. You can trade the language of scarcity for the language of abundance. Start small. Choose your power word. Speak less, but with more intention. Watch what you say when you wake up. Honor silence. It is the space where true words are born. And more than that, share this awareness with those who need to remember that their voice holds power, that their speech is a spell, and that within each of us lives an ancient scribe, a magician of letters, a guardian of the verb. If this video touched something within you, leave your power word in the comments below. The one that will guide you from here on out. The one that will be your vibrational seed in the days to come. And offer a silent invitation to the universe. May everything I speak from now on be to create, to heal, and to awaken. You are not just another voice in the world. You are the vibration the world hears when you choose to remember yourself. Speak with presence. Write with soul. Create with love. Because reality is always listening.